when your father was head of the coalition at the center, I think it was the late 90s. And Chandrababu ji was the most generous to reporters like us. We were the soundbite generation. We got a mic and we thought we could ask anything. And nobody liked us. We were pesky, irritating people asking banal questions. But somewhere, Chandrababu ji always had time for us, food for us, chai for us, and he would give us the inside story. And I must say that when I see you here today on stage, therefore it's like a flashback moment for me. Lokesh, you know, images of your dad come in my mind. And it's incredible to sit with you today as the face of governance of the new generation. I wanted this opportunity to get Nara Lokesh on stage because without trying to sound even slightly prophetic, I have a feeling that this young politician on stage here is going to do some big things in the future. I've had the opportunity of talking to him, understanding him, and he's come all the way, and I just told him one thing. I said, Lokesh, I need the people to get to know you a little better. So are we ready for a little intimate conversation with Lokesh? Because there's an X factor around him. The incredible thing about this Republic Summit, sorry for the long introduction, it's a bad habit. You know, I never end. At some point, you're going to have to tell me to keep quiet. The interesting thing about this Republic Summit, Lokesh, is that we have people who are not often on stage, but who are doing great things in this country. We have, after some time, we have Sudarshan Venu, who runs TVS, incredible company, global mobility, again, not very exposed on the national stage. We have Sridhar Vembu. I think he does great things at Zoho. We're going to get Professor Kamakoti, who's made IIT Madras into a center of bustling creative energy. And so, for me, I see all of this as part of a pattern. Lokesh, in your political journey, where are you placed right now? You know, I just want to start with a broad sweep. You had many years in politics. Can you tell us about where you stand right now? How would you describe the last 10 years? And what is your vision for the next 10?
For me personally, I think it's been a very exciting journey. As you rightly said, it's a journey and not a destination. So it's very unfair to say where do I stand right now in my political career. I believe that God willing, people blessing, I have another 40, 50 years of political career ahead of me as a person. Last decade has been rewarding. I've had the highest of highs, lowest of lows. I've taken my highs as I take my lows. I've taken my lows as I take my highs. And I've remained the same person, Lokesh. Nothing much has changed in that perspective. But what I see is an amazing opportunity for our nation. And I see that today, young leaders also should lead from the front, roll up their sleeves and actually get things done. And that is the role that I see playing as we go about in my political journey.
So as of now, what are you rolling up your sleeves and getting done? In that, what is that one big thing? Because from my conversations with you in the past, I've realized you're all about execution. And you're in a terrible hurry to get things done. So what is your target? What is that one project that you're rolling up your sleeves and getting done as of this minute? Lokesh.
There are multiple projects that I'm getting done. I think it's very unfair to say this is the single project, number one. Number two, my chief minister has a clear vision that Andhra Pradesh should be a $2.4 trillion economy by 2047. And for all of you here, you know, Naidu ji is a man in a hurry. So when you have a boss like that, it makes it exceptionally difficult to also match to his speed. And I'm in eager rush to actually match his speed in that sense. Saying that, I handle two important portfolios. One is the Bharat portfolio, which is education. The other one is India portfolio, which is to attract investments and create jobs. And I'm doing interesting work in that sense in actually these two portfolios, which will differentiate Andhra Pradesh as we go forward and really set a new benchmark for India.
So what is the target your boss has set for you?
Well, his point is very clear. We have to be a $2.4 trillion economy. That means we need to grow at 15% CAGR year on year as a state. That requires a lot of integration across departments. And as the chairman of group of ministers to create 2 million jobs in 5 years, our singular agenda with which I'm working today is actually to create jobs. That's what keeps me up. That's what keeps me driven day in, day out.
We just had Himanta Biswa Sarma earlier, and everybody's pushing for investment, and more investment. What remains unique about Andhra as an investment destination, if any?
I'll give you the 3 S's. First is speed, second is stability, third is service. Just to give you a few numbers, Google project, which was briefly mentioned in the video, it's India's single largest FDI investment ever. This is in a data center. From handshake to shovel, 13 months. ArcelorMittal Greenfield steel plant, from handshake to shovel, 17 months. I'll give you another number. AMCA, which is India's attempt at building indigenous fighter jet, a stealth fighter jet, handshake to shovel, 37 days. So that is the speed that Andhra Pradesh stands for and differentiates. Second is stability. You know, our leadership has an amazing track record where its policies have stood the test of time and politics, and we have delivered on that. Third is service. I look at all the entrepreneurs, the industries as nation builders. You here create jobs. You build the nation. And I look at you with a lot of respect, and I'm here as a politician to serve and deliver on the promise. So these are the 3 S's that I believe is what is making Andhra Pradesh different from other states. And that is why today we're able to attract 25% of investments that are actually coming to India. 25%, single state. So that's what makes Andhra Pradesh different from any other state in India.
I'm going to ask a couple of more quick ones and then hand it over to Niranjan. You know, what is it that, if any, that differentiates Nara Lokesh, or your generation, I would say? What is different in the way that those of your age bracket look at the relationship between business and politics? See, we've seen in the last 3 decades of my journalistic career, I've seen a different relationship between business and politics 25 years back and today. Today, it is not parasitic. It is not patronage. It is not what we in India used to call the Jajmani system. It is not based only on personal deliverables. It is based on strict performance deliverables. So the straight question, and we would like to know, there are many people from business in the audience, would your generation or you personally look at the relationship between business and politics differently from those a generation older or 2 generations older? Do you see anything changing? And I'm not talking only in the context of your boss. His approach was very different. I'm talking about the traditional relationship between politics and business earlier and now. Thank you.
Yeah. Arnabji, after you spend a decade and a half or 2 decades with a leader, we all become a carbon copy of your leader. It's a culture that permeates. Day in, day out, when you're talking to your leader, exchanging ideas, the culture permeates. And in our, being a regional party, we've always had nation at heart. We came out policies that have helped the nation, and Andhra Pradesh got the first mover advantage. We've done that with data centers. We are doing that with few more sectors. So I believe that businessmen have an important role to play. They are nation builders. They create jobs. They are today building critical infrastructure. Saying that it's no longer just Andhra Pradesh vying for their rupee or their dollar. Every other state, I'm competing with every other state. And I'm differentiating myself with the 3 S's. And that is what I believe will make Andhra Pradesh a better place than any other state. And today, if you know, quite a few of the business houses that are already investing in Andhra, if you look at it, they are very diversified business houses. So they require multiple ministries to integrate. And that's the exact job that I'm doing. I update them on a weekly basis on the status of their project, because it is in my interest that I ground the project, create those jobs, and create that local economic impact that these kind of investments actually make.
Okay, I have a couple of more. Niranjan, one more. Niranjan is thinking this guy's grabbed the mic. Anyway, he is my boss.
What's new?
He sits in the studio for 2 hours every day ad nauseum. And yet, even in the one opportunity I'm sitting there, he's grabbed the mic. Niranjan, forgive me. I just one question because, I need to push the envelope a little bit with you now. Because there's a feeling that because he is the most, in numbers, powerful ally of the BJP, you are, that you get differential treatment. So the nation wants to know, Mr. Lokesh, because of your political power, do you get differential treatment? Do you get special treatment? If so, to what extent? How does that make you complacent? Is there a deliverable with it? You can choose to answer this. And the reason I ask this question, and I'll explain this, is because when I understood the financial model of the Amravati project from you personally, I saw that there was a tremendous amount of capital raised that was done by the state of Andhra Pradesh and not coming from Delhi. I hope I am understood here. It's not like, there's a feeling in Delhi that all the money is being given from Delhi, but that's not the case. So I want you to, this question is also an opportunity for you to dispel that myth and get into some hard numbers, please, if you may. Thank you.
Arnabji, definitely having more number of MPs help in terms of having a conversation at the table, having your voice heard. Saying that what did we gain as a state and as a person? Having a dinner with the Prime Minister. The Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji was very kind enough to host me. And I've understood his vision. I've understood what he wants states to deliver. Today, to be very honest, the central government is creating world-class policies. Policies where in other countries they are unable to do. He's able to give us vision, direction and guidance. But he's looking at states to execute. And today Andhra Pradesh is taking that opportunity, is running faster than any other state, and therefore we are getting rewarded for it. It's as simple as that. See, if other states are sleeping and I'm going to the Raksha Mantri and saying that I heard you're having a project and please come to Andhra Pradesh, obviously he's going to choose us because we have the land ready. 37 days, 600 acres delivered to Government of India, 0 rupees taken by the state. So that is the speed, and the Honorable Prime Minister is looking at states that are going to run. He's saying, you guys compete. And that's what I believe. When states compete, India wins. Saying that even Amravati is a great example of it. They gave the startup capital. So Government of India gave 12 or 13,000 crores of startup capital to get the project going. But that was just the beginning. We raised money. It's a self-financing project. It's going to be a world-class city that India has not seen. We are building infrastructure that will make every Indian proud and say, yes, we are no longer going to talk about cities in different parts of the world. We are going to talk about this city called Amravati in India, built by designed by world-class architects, where knowledge gets transferred to our architects, and we can go about showcase it to the world. So that's what is going to make us different from rest of the
How much have you raised beyond the seed capital?
See, we are going
I just want to see the level of your ambition, the degree of your aggressiveness in being able to push together an infrastructure project of this scale. And I also want to understand the time limits of your execution and whether there is a political timeline that you keep in mind, because politicians like to deliver things just before the elections. Yeah, I want to understand all three, please. And Niranjan, after this, I'm giving the mic to you. Thank you. Sorry, Niranjan.
So the first, to answer your question, right? Amravati, we made a promise to the Prime Minister because he restarted all the projects that 2028, we are going to open all the buildings in Amravati, which is your core capital area, the government complexes. That is the first promise we made, which is our Secretariat, our Assembly, High Court. That's a promise that we made. We will deliver on it. How much money do we need to raise in this whole process run up to building the capital city? It's going to cost us 60,000 crores. 60,000 crores is the capital that we are going to raise to build a world-class capital city. And it's not just about the government. We already have education institutions coming up. I'm not too sure how many of you know here. BITS is building their quantum campus in Amravati. And it's going to start taking admissions next year. So that's the pace at which development is happening. Hospitals, hotels, convention centers, education institutions, because we don't want it to just be a government city. We wanted to have it to have a soul, and it should become an economic powerhouse for the state of Andhra Pradesh. See, if I have to achieve the $2.4 trillion economy, it's not going to be one city. There are going to be multiple economic regions. So we have Visakhapatnam Economic Region, Amravati Economic Region, and Tirupati Economic Region, each with a very distinct focus. So Visakhapatnam is where the data centers, the IT, the ecosystem is now getting built up. Amravati is where the entire quantum ecosystem is getting built up. And Rayalaseema, which we call the Tirupati Economic Region, is where the entire manufacturing ecosystem is getting built up. So while Amravati is going to be our capital city, we are equally developing rest of Andhra Pradesh.
Niranjan.
On a lighter note, Nara Lokesh, for one of these summits, we tried to invite the former Chief Minister, and I remember traveling to Vizag. And I have to tell you, talking about these capitals, the state of Vizag back then, I can't tell you the condition in which the roads were, right? In this competition to build capitals, new cities, most often what people forget is what is really required, and that is the drive. And to look at the TDP of NDA 1 under Modi ji to TDP 2 under the current dispensation, right? There's a lot of generational gap. Your MPs back then were much older. The attitudes were much more different. There were many more controversies. But today when I see you and your MPs here, they're way younger. You're 43, there are leaders in India who are 15 years older than you and still call themselves youth leaders. But that apart, you have MPs here. I think you introduced us to one of your MPs who was in his 30s. So that generational shift, is it a conscious effort to build a new party under your wings? How are you looking at it? And why are you increasingly pushing for younger people? Is it working out for you?
See, every political party has to go through its own sets of transition. If you look at it, when our founding father NTR ji started the party, he gave doctors, engineers, great opportunities to join politics. They've become very well established leaders. They have led the party for 40, 45 years, 4 decades. They themselves on multiple occasions have said that now party has to also find next generation leaders to lead from here. And that's the exact transition we have done. In the last election, if you notice, 50% of our legislatures are first timers. 17 out of 25 ministers are first timers. We have the youngest parliamentary party. And our MP, Rammohan Naidu, who is the Minister of Civil Aviation, is the youngest cabinet minister in Indian history. It's very important that this transition happens because we need to understand the aspirations of the youth of India, and they should be well represented in the political system also, and even in terms of governance delivery. So the transition is what we are very conscious about as a political party. Though, as I said, we are a regional party, but we have India at heart. And we believe that we, as an important ally in NDA, all forms of India under Vajpayee ji and now under Modi ji, we have always contributed to the nation in terms of policy frameworks.
Arnab, can I take one more question?
Please don't embarrass.
Okay, on a lighter note. So, growing up, we always saw your father, and he always had this reputation of being the man who introduced the word IT. He was known as someone, and he's still known, of course, he's very, very progressive in that sense. So he was known as the man who introduced IT into India, under the undivided Andhra, right? And now you seem to have a very, very sort of a similar path that you're trying to take with this AI transformation. So it was IT for Chandrababu Naidu, AI for Nara Lokesh. Is there a conscious effort that you're putting in to push AI? How important is that for you?
For all of you who know my Chief Minister Naidu ji, he doesn't leave anything for us. So IT is him, AI is him, quantum is also him. He's not left much for me. But my job is execution. So what you see today in Andhra Pradesh is you have a visionary leader who gives the trajectory on which side the state should go. And then he has a young set of team who's simply focused on execution, ensuring the rubber meets the road. And that is what is differentiating us as a state, number one. Number two, see, Naidu ji is a brand. And this brand enables us to open doors. And that is what has happened for us. So of course, I've used his brand. That's how I got my foot in the door into Google. But then I had to execute it. And that's how we landed the project, work started, and a year from now, we'll actually dedicate this data center to Bharat. And that's what makes us different. And I believe that, as I say, Naidu's 4.0, this is his 4th term as Chief Minister. I believe it's completely different term compared to his previous 3 terms. And I jokingly tell my young team, I say Mr. Naiduji always says 94 was a great time. 95, the first time he became the chief minister. He said, I had a great team. This is how we used to work, this is how we used to work. And I keep telling all my young Turks that we should compete with that. The day we should work so hard that the day will come and Mr. Naiduji will say, yaar, 2024 ka team bada tha. It was amazing. This was the perfect team. So that is what drives us day in, day out.
This is a very interesting session because what we are getting here, as we look into this, we are looking at Nara Lokesh. Now, Nara Lokesh is one of the most watched, most closely watched, now you're being very closely watched, second generation leader in India today. And we are happy for that. And therefore, the double challenge of you to, and you have moved very much, I must congratulate you through your work decisively, in a way out of the shadow of your legendary father, right, who's very, very strongly there. And you're carving a identity as a technology-first reformer. Now, in a choice between people and business, and ladies and gentlemen, right now Sridhar Vembu is walking in. Let's give him a big round of applause. That's an amazing man, the founder of Zoho. Sridhar Vembu ji, please sit, sir. Please sit. Thank you very much. So my question is, and this is interesting for you, Sridhar ji. Interesting question I'm asking Lokesh ji out here. That does it sometimes happen to be a choice between your political and your business targets? For example, you are positioning Andhra and you, your father, particularly you, as India's data center revolution center, right? You want to be attracting significant AI infrastructure investment, but you're also grappling with issues which are of the real world of power and energy, and large-scale data power centers really consume a lot of both. And then you have the needs of the local communities. So we are very keen to know whether this is a policy challenge that you see becoming increasingly strong as you go forward. A. B. In the search for scalability, are you doing something for it now rather than deferring the problem to 4 to 5 years later when the dependency on these centers for the business you're growing, the tech-first business, may be greater? Lokesh ji.
Arnab ji, I think the most important thing is to make the farmers, your electorate, part of the growth story and the journey. It's important for us to educate, put our viewpoint also in front of them. See, we keep talking about water requirement for a data center. It's a known fact. Data centers require water. But I'll give you a number, 3,000 TMC. 3,000 TMC is the amount of water that goes from Godavari into the sea. 3,000 TMC. That's equivalent to the annual consumption of Brazil. Annual consumption of Vietnam. All I'm asking is 1.5 TMC. And today I have the irrigation network. Polarum project is going to be done where I'll be able to take this water. Right? I'll be able to take this water for the data center requirement, number one. Number two, when you look at it, India has one grid, one nation, which differentiates us from the rest of the world. Today, I have a lot of renewable energy assets in the southern part of Andhra Pradesh. My ability to roll this energy to the data centers makes it very easy. Saying that, if you look at what's happening, now already restrictions have started coming in terms of the AI platforms. Every country has started to protect themselves. So it's very important that India has to look at it from an infrastructure level. India has to look at it from a technology stack level where we are also differentiated. We have our own sovereign stack. Otherwise, time will come where we will be left high and dry.
Are you planning for it now?
Absolutely. Huh? I'll give you another number. Energy consumption in Andhra Pradesh has gone up by 17%, year on year. It's the highest compared to any other state. And I need to plan for it because we are at 15,000 megawatts today. At this pace, before even all my projects have signed, are grounded, I'm already on this hyper growth. I need to plan for my energy requirements. I need to plan for my water requirements. And this is what keeps us up day in, day out. And every minister, from my irrigation to our energy minister, we are very focused on it. And that's how we are able to deliver.
So the contradiction here is that, earlier it was appeasement politics towards electorates. Now you say that you do real-time governance. You say that you have a real-time governance dashboard. I have been told that you have some kind of a dashboard. It sounds like a fighter jet cockpit where you have a real-time governance dashboard. Is it possible to do that? Is it only a attractive catchphrase, a positioning tool, a marketing gimmick, or is it really possible to do that? I mean, what is this real-time governance dashboard that you have already started?
So let me give you,
What does it mean for an average citizen?
so let me give you another interesting fact. Before the NDA government came into power, that is in 2024, Andhra Pradesh had the lowest literacy level. A very paradoxical thing, right? When Andhra Pradesh contributes to IT in such a big way, how is it that Andhra Pradesh has the lowest literacy level? Because we never monitored dropouts. The preceding 5 years, 19 to 24, adult education was given a miss. Today, just in our education department, the way minister looks at data is a similar format in which my grassroots functionary, which could be my headmaster, looks at data. That enables to align our entire goals. That is enabling me to deliver results. If you look at our results as government schools, we have shown fantastic progress last year. This is the first year where close to 85,000 students migrated from the private school to the government schools in Andhra Pradesh. Data enables you to take decisions. Data enables you to understand where's the problem. Today, sitting in Amravati, I know exactly which schools I need to focus to improve my performance, which school contributed to lowest level, and even in which subject, which teacher, which student. We have done that entire link. When private sector can do it, why not the government? That's how governments should run, and that's the direction that my chief minister has given. And imagine we are doing this across ministries, and we're able to aggregate data centrally and guide the ministers. We know agriculture commodity prices. We are understanding water movement, because based on when rain will come, I know how much water to move, because irrigation moving water is very expensive. So we are planning relatively in advance, and that's how we are able to deliver growth rates that other states are unable to deliver.
Did you intend to join politics after Stanford?
I knew I'll join politics before Stanford. So there's an essay on why Stanford. It's a very unique thing for Stanford Business School. They say, why Stanford? And that's where I wrote that, I will make the transition from the private sector to the public sector, and I believe Stanford Stanford MBA would really equip me making the transition. So I knew this from day one. So actually, a lot of people ask me this question: what made you join politics? In 2004, Mr. Naidu lost an election. And exactly a year later, I went to a wedding with him, big fat Indian wedding. There were 5,000 people in the wedding. And when Mr. Naidu ji walked in, all 5,000 people stood up in respect. 5,000 people. So that's when I realized this is one profession where that kind of respect can actually be earned. And that's what really got me into politics.
Let me tell you, that is well deserved. It's not for all politicians, but Chandrababu ji certainly deserves that respect, and I think this has been a great, promising start. I've really enjoyed the conversation. You're very positive, and I wish you all the best. Is something giving you sleepless nights?
My father.
God, this is the real moment. Can you say that again so I get that 40-second? Why is Chandrababu Naidu giving his son sleepless nights? The nation wants to know. I'll send this to him, by the way. Yeah.
Well, he's a tough taskmaster. We were celebrating the fact that we attracted 25% of India's investments. And I'm the chair of the group of ministers. So I was like, yeah, I've done a decent job. Not a great job, I know you won't agree. He looks at me and says, you've left 75% on the table. Why are you not getting the other 75%? So imagine if you have a chief minister like that, you will have sleepless nights. And it's fun working with him, working for him, working under him.
Don't complain, you are enjoying it completely. Absolutely. I thank you very much. I thank you very much, and I think we should wish him all the best for what he does in the future. Man to watch out for, Nara Lokesh, a man to watch out for. Thank you very much. Thank you. Niranjan, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Nara Lokesh.